definitely knew we was in for something a little bit special.
There's the low blow.
Oh,
is it?
Rules' belt lining up. Is that my belly? I think I won it.
It was a draw, and that's the top and bottom of it.
I don't know if we had an inkling of how much of a war it was going to be.
This was the biggest test of my career.
Welcome to What Went Down. I'm Darren Fletcher, and I'm joined by the British heavyweight champion, Fabio Wardley, and by Frazer Clarke, who's about to challenge him again for his title. And I've got the two guys together today to take a look back on the first fight before they meet again on October the 12th in Riyadh for Fabio's British title. Fellas, I want to look back on the first fight, which was an absolute classic. Great atmosphere on the night. How are you feeling, Fabio, going into this? I mean, you both looked great before it started. How were you feeling at this point?
Yeah, look, I was ecstatic. I was buzzing. I think in the build-up to a fight, one of the best bits is the ring walk. Just being able to stand there, soak it in, enjoy it. As you can see, someone enjoying the moment. But like that's the good bit at the moment. You get to really kind of, all your kind of work culminates a bit there, and you get all the appreciation and all the respect.
You're looking ready there, big fella.
I was headlining the O2, 9 fights in. Boxing for me has been a journey, obviously. It was a little bit surreal, but at the same time, these are the nights that I wanted.
Do you get a chance to take it in at all as you walk out, or is it fully focused? I mean, as you kind of both get out onto that platform.
I mean, look, I think we both had the similar one moment at the top where you just think, this is it. So yeah, you get a second of it, but in all honesty, you know what's about to go down, do you know what I mean? Especially with this fight, I knew this was the biggest test of my career.
Neither of you know what's about to unfold. Neither of you know that you're going to serve up an absolute classic in the ring.
Yeah, look, not to the extent. Obviously, you know what's coming. As much as we had talk back and forth before the fight and stuff, I don't know if we had an inkling of how much of a war it was going to be, but we definitely knew we was in for something a little bit special.
You don't look at him there. Why is that?
I never do it in any of my opponents. No.
Is that?
I don't know.
No?
You pick up habits, don't you? Sometimes, I say a lot of people think it's probably a little bit of energy burn as well. Just that stare, it means nothing. You're about to punch each other. Do you know what I mean?
Second contest, round 1.
So here we go, feeling out process at the start. I mean, it is a fight where you start well.
For me, at least, first couple of rounds are an analysis round. I'm trying to have a look, trying to see what's going on there. Nice, clean right hand, worked to the body as well, followed it up nicely. Just kept putting that work and pressure on, because I know that right hand landed well. But again, gets his own good shot off.
You saw the uppercut get through there, Frazer. That was a good punch for you in the fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it landed a few times. A good shot, like I say, a natural shot that comes to me, not nothing that was particularly worked on. Something that comes to me and I use it quite well. I mean, like I say, I've gone over this fight a long time. The disappointing thing is, I think, like Fabio said himself, is the follow-up. I think the follow-up after the uppercut would have been very important.
I'm sure you've both seen things that you think, I can't do that again. And I mean, you're not going to say it in front of each other, I'm sure, because you don't want to give your tactics away.
I can't take too many right hands again. I know that. I know that.
There's numerous points where I've caught him really well, caught him hard, had him going a little bit and thought, all right, cool, now time to follow up, but just gone about it in the wrong way.
You've got that nose damage now, which you had for the majority of the fight. How difficult was that for you on the night?
People made a lot of it, and to me, I wasn't fussed. First of all, it's on the bridge of my nose, which means it drips straight down my face. It doesn't obscure my eyes at all. Look, it's boxing. We get cut.
Does that spur you on? When you see that? Is that red rag to a bull? Do you think, right, I'm going to target that now?
Obviously, when you smell blood, you automatically think you've got someone going, but at the same time, I've been in boxing a long time, I've been cut, I've fought with cuts. He was bleeding, but I still couldn't rush it on him because, as we've seen in his previous fights, that could be curtains. It's dangerous when he's hurt.
This is obviously a big round here, the 5th, because this is where the knockdown comes, and I'm fascinated to hear about it from both sides.
It's a follow-up. Again, erratic follow-up, but just a lot of punches thrown, because I know that right hand that landed right at the beginning of the sequence hit well, and another one there, and I was just following it. I just kept throwing straight rights down the pipe, and they were getting through.
What about that from your perspective, Frazer?
No, you know, listen, I'm not going to take anything away from it. Good pressure. I think it's a mistake on my part. You know, there's a way to move around the ring. You know, we did across the legs, not holding my shape, and that's what happens. You know, you paid the price. I wasn't hurt. Off of myself a little bit there, you know. But like I said, I'm experienced. Oh, that's bad in slow-mo, doesn't it? You know, I think I'm experienced enough. Do you know what I mean? If you're fit, you get up, and I was fit, so...
At what point are you really starting to build the fatigue in this fight? Because it was non-stop, and I mean, for two heavyweights to move around like this for 12 rounds, I thought was astonishing.
The last kind of 4 rounds is where I really started to feel the fatigue, because I'm still working a lot here. Some of the work is a little bit lazy and laboured, but I'm still throwing... Oh, there's that gum shield that didn't manage to stay in his mouth the whole time, but we'll sort that out for next time. I've got a good dentist. I
was at the dentist yesterday.
Recommend.
I was at the dentist yesterday.
You got a proper one, yeah?
I got a one yesterday, mate.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
There's the low blow.
Oh.
Is it?
What's the rules? Rules is belt lining up. Is that my belly? What do you think, Fletch? Does that look like my belly?
See, I'm looking at that right, and I think your experience is streetwise enough to think I want to give him a little dig downstairs here.
No, but it wasn't the case. No, wasn't the case. Wasn't the case. But I think between you know the Oscar acting from Fabio and
Oscar?
and the cheerleaders there at the front row, we hear them throughout the whole fight. You know what I mean?
So all I did was hold on to my meat and and just be like, hang on, mate.
I think the referee himself a little bit, if I'm honest. No one spoke about the flicky backhands from Fabio. About 20 of them. There's a lot of mistakes here, like, you know.
Honestly,
that's a good right hand from me.
I watched that hit me in the face, and I thought,
but I've no shame in saying, you know, there's a lot of it off instinct. Do you know what I mean? Like, at this stage of a fight, tactics and that are great, but, you know, a lot of it is who wants it most. Do you know what I mean? And I think it would definitely, you can see that we both wanted it.
Right, by this point, neither of us really are focusing too much on tactics. It's just getting big, heavy shots off, trying to land. We both know our opponent's feeling the pace, so it's trying to land that one that really has an effect and can make them either give up, take a knee, back out, corner, throw the towel in, however. That's what you're looking for at this point.
I get the impression, listening to both of you, that a lot of the thought process going into the rematch is about not making the mistakes you made in the first.
That should be anyone to go into the rematch.
That's baseline.
That's just clever, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying not to give too much away at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, but listen, I don't expect the same Fabio Wardley as I got the first time. You know, I expect better.
I mean, you're still throwing. You said you were done, but what did you say?
That's what I mean. Well, yeah, but the way I judge myself, I'm critical, and they're heavy and laboured. If you look at the way I throw my jab with my whole body behind it. It's not sharp, it's not snappy. Hence why I get caught so much with an uppercut. It's because I'm throwing a jab and following in with my head. This was an unnecessary stop from the ref. Like, it's on my nose.
Were you concerned there when you went to the doctor?
I was shouting at him. I was like, "Don't need dare, don't need dare, stop the fight." It's on my nose. It's not covering my eyes at all. It's just a bit of blood.
What did you learn about yourselves in this fight?
Well, listen, I knew I had this in the locker. You know, I think Fabio and everyone else involved was discrediting me from the start. Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought I was living off my amateur, and this is the pros, different. Like, you don't need to tell me that. I know that more than anyone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I just felt a little bit, not disrespected, because no one owes me respect. At this stage of my career, I hadn't really done nothing to gain that respect. Until this fight, you know, I feel like it showed people a little bit of what I've got.
Is that the same for you, though? In a way. Different background, different journey here.
Like, the obvious comparison here was me, white-collar fighter, come from a very unorthodox route. It made my way this far in the pro boxing career, but was definitely going to get unstuck against an Olympic medalist. And I think I proved that at least I can go toe-to-toe with him, and that I can make it through 12 rounds with a lot of energy. I'm always pressing, always walking him down, always pressing the fight, throwing punches, landing. Like, I don't think heart was ever a question for me. You've seen that in other fights, and that I can grit through and push, but it's a different story trying to do it over 12 rounds.
What are you thinking here? I mean, do you mentally score the fight? Do you have any idea when you're involved in something like this where you think you might be? What are the corners saying to you at this point?
At this point, you know, it's go out there and hit the guy in front of you. You know,
Literally.
I think I was, you know, I knew I was in the fight. I thought I'd done well. You know, I probably should have turned it on a little bit more here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was exhausted. Don't get me wrong, but you know, fighters find that little bit extra.
I mean, this is somewhere else to finish.
Yeah, look, you know it's the 12th, you know it's the last one. You want to finish strong, especially myself. But somehow I always find when I know the ending is when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you can find that extra 5-10% in you and just finish strong and just let them hands go and just fire off. But again, same old mistake, heavy jab, caught with an uppercut. And knuckles up, come on, let's go. I'll put the work on you, throwing hands. And bell goes. On your feet.
I mean, that's quite an astonishing fight. I mean, you've had to sit straight down. You've given absolutely everything, Frank.
Yeah, but is that not? That should be a standard, is it?
Absolutely,
almost,
absolutely. I mean, I say that.
Fabio is sort of like, you know, you can laugh at that, but you know, it's just a note of I left my everything in that ring.
Yeah.
You know, I've no shame in being exhausted because I put everything into it.
I asked the question through respect because nobody can question that you didn't leave absolutely everything in that ring, which is what you would have wanted to do prior to the opening bell. I have tremendous respect for the pair of you for going through that. Now, what are you thinking here? Do you both think you've won it at this stage?
I think I've won it. I think I've won it. I've said before, like you watch all through that fight, I'm always putting the pressure on. I'm always putting the work in. Point deduction, knockdown. I thought, yeah, I've got to say. Look, don't get me wrong. I'll never say that it was not a close fight because it was a hell of a fight and it was a close fight. We both had back and forth moments. I would just say that those two factors swayed it my way.
Yeah, let's agree with Fabio.
You haven't got to agree with me. You can make your own point.
No,
you can make you're here to make your own case.
Listen, what happened was it was a draw, and that's the top and bottom of it. We'll do it again in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
What matters is none of this, what we're doing this week and here, it all matters on that fight night.
Yeah. Are you excited about the next one?
Yeah. Look, I'm excited to do it all again. I'm also excited to do it back over in Saudi. I've done it once before, and we've got the privilege of being on a massive card. Probably one of the most looked forward to cards between two undefeated fighters there is, or maybe not ever has been, but for a long, long period of time, we've got the privilege of being on there. Recently now, chief support, so we get all eyes on us. So, yeah, look, it's going to be a hell of a night.
I think it's great as well to sit in the middle of you, two fighting men who served up an absolute classic. I can feel the rivalry, but I can also feel the respect.
When you're a heavyweight, it doesn't matter what room you go into, you want to be the best man in there. Simple as that. And at the minute, there's nothing to split us. Yeah, he has the titles, but we got a draw. So we need to see who the best man is. It's really as simple as that.
We do. We need to see who the best man is. And you get the chance to see it. It's part of Riyadh season. It's October the 12th. It's TNT Sports box office. It's Art of Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol, top of the bill, chief support. These two, an absolute classic when they fought before. Fabio Wardley, British champion. Challenger Frazer Clarke. Gents, it's been absolutely fascinating and a privilege being sat between you watching that back. I just hope the next one's as good as the first one.